So let's start with the basics. Life as we know it, it's nothing but inevitable changes that move us from one stage of life to another. For example, a sperm and an egg inevitably transform and change into a fully formed baby after 9 months, right? And that baby swiftly moves through the stages of growth, from experiencing life out of the womb for the first time, which is a really big change, to adapting and then becoming one with worldly humans, which is another big change. And then through that starts learning to walk and talk. The fact is, change is deeply embedded in our DNA and making it almost impossible to avoid its natural form and purpose. Like life, organizations also start off as a germination of ideas and then transform and grow into economic powerhouses. Organizations, great and small, successful and suffering, are made up of strategies, cultures, people, processes, services, products that all make up their DNA. The constant movement and transformation of all these elements combined automatically causes some kind of harmony and at times friction that leads to change. But at times, there'll always seem to be a lack of normality in how we view change. At times, the word change is seen as the biggest blocker for growth and transformation. The one thing that is a constant and is inevitable incredibly becomes the barrier of what could potentially be. So, how do we normalize change in organizations? We must awaken the DNA so that it can replicate itself and create a chain of positive proteins that will strengthen the good pattern that will eventually build an even stronger organization. But at the same time, we must remain cognizant of ongoing disruption that requires the delivery of change in environments that are demanding faster and more people-centered results. So how can we go about this? It is critical that everyone, both customers and your people, are taken along on the journey of change. In my experience, I've found that organizations miss the power that their first-hand customers, who are their employees, have over their products and services that they provide. Your people are the face of the organization and the first point of contact to potential, new and existing clients. If they themselves do not believe in what they are providing, or better yet, do not see the need to advocate for it, let alone use it, it will not always be an easy task to convince a customer of the value. Employee buy-in goes a long way in ensuring change happens. On the other hand, customers should be the foundation of why your organization do what they do. If it doesn't add value for the client, then why do it? So it's a common assumption that diversity and inclusion are barriers to change. However, when managed correctly and allowed to flourish, they can be what propels an organization towards change adaptation. A diverse organization will allow for renewed thinking and will produce robust ideas that will help transform and move it forward through effective engagement, creativity, and innovation. Allowing a safe space for people to be themselves enables them to always put their best foot forward, the only way they really know how. Great diversity will always bring about opportunities. So achieving a set target and goals remains the order of the day. How an organization chooses to get there is relative, really. Knowing what is required from the end user's needs to the tools available and what the business objectives are is technically one thing. However, understanding the how in steering the ship in the right direction is another. Leadership has a responsibility to lead by example and create working spaces that give people meaningful work while encouraging empowerment, accountability, and ongoing feedback. The face of change is fluid, and depending on the side you're looking at it from, it tends to look, feel, fit differently for everybody. The need for organizations to be quick on their feet when it comes to adaptation in order to survive has never been greater. The pace of change today is the slowest it will ever be, so capitalizing on the ability to be adaptable is key. As Warren Bennis once said, in life, change is inevitable. In business, change is vital.